Yo, YouTube, this is your girl, Michelle362. Bringing another fun-filled video, today. Um, so anyways, as you can tell, tonight, what do I got over here? Well, my little sleepy time tea mug. What I want to show you, tonight, in case fast forward a little bit, just a smidge of a little hair. So as you can tell, I just started putting into the shocks. As you can see where the white shocks are. These I'm leaving, believe it or not, the plastic white color it came with the kit. I actually found it very sexy. But anyways, no. So as you can tell, I started doing some painting. I'm finally starting to get the components in for the kit. As you can tell, I just started painting up onto the steering linkages from the arm to the main pivoting point, and the whole 9 yards. Especially this little chamber right here they actually use for the truck. So basically, where I am now is the second coat onto here. So this is gonna be drying overnight. As you can tell, like I said, this is believe it or not, these are going to accent with the green chassis along with the white shocks. As you can tell, yes, I did decide to leave the white shocks as a plastic. Like I said, I found them very sexy. So, as you can tell, I also want to show something real quick because I'm actually going to do another paint scheme or another layer of paint. Well, the second coat of it, really, and truthfully. But the color I will show first in any of my streams, I will show one specific color. I am actually using it's an anodized red. Primarily, I'm doing these rims a little different for the back. Fronts are going to get the same treatment. However, it doesn't go without saying. So I'm going to show you what I was talking about. So anyways, what I am running first off, before I start showing you the next coat of rims, before I have to do the second thing, I am actually using a Duplicolor metal cast, which is a color coat. Now, this is actually to apply over chrome, shiny metal, or metal cast, base coat, whatever. It's a heat-resistant thing. It's heat-resistant paint. Not bad for about $7, $5-7. So what I'm using is MC200 red anodized. So you know what I'm using here for the rims. And I'll show you what I'm talking about, why I'm doing this for the rims. Now, the thing is, I've been thinking about it not in a bad sense. So anyways, I want to show you what this is going to look like before I start going further into the kit. Before I start finishing up the paint job on the rims, before I finish the anodizing process, and therefore I have to open up the window. I gotta crack it open only because, well, I don't want to be any more high than I'm already am down here. I'm just kidding. But anyways, I'll show you what's going on. I'll show you how this is all playing out. So this basically is the color. Right now you can see the silver. It kind of looks like a dark side of the moon kind of thing, and inside the rim. Yeah, they're starting to get done up internally and externally. So basically, I am sticking up to the advice that was actually given to me about using the moon caps, which I am going to be using. I actually test fitted one of them, so I believe they're going to work. So my main goal, right, maybe tonight, maybe not, is to hopefully get as far as I can, probably a second coat. And as a matter of fact, I actually got to crack open the window because I got to set the paint booth up. So there is going to be some noise. I could turn down the volume of that noise so you're not going to get fully blasted. So I try to avoid anything here. So So right now, what I'm going to actually do now, what I'm using for the steering linkages is a tester's flat, brass. So that's not too bad. So I got a couple things I have to paint during the stream. As you said, like as I was saying, is the second coat onto the steering linkage set, and then I'm going to hopefully get these rims fully painted by today or tonight. Um, and during my last stream, I know, yeah, I actually want to give a big shout out to John Paul. I actually, if you're listening, if you're watching, John Paul, let you know I did follow you up on your channel. Um, Hopefully it's the right one. So I want to say thank you to him. But as far as like getting the Patreon goes, the Patreon will be coming. I've been tinkering around with the app itself, so it's really not that bad. I just gotta learn how to be a little more tech savvy in my end, but um, it's a slow learning process. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start getting these painted up, but I do have to open up those windows, or spraying down here is gonna cost me to be high, and I don't want to be high. So I gotta open this window up. It's got a lot of spider webs, and I'm not very keen about spiders. Yes, folks, I am, and it's true, arachnophobic. Um, so, damn, it's dusty. So, anyways, what you're seeing here is the actual the vent for my spraying. Inside there's filters. Eventually, I got to change those over. I got some spare ones, and this will go up into that window there. So, I got this a few years ago for Christmas, so I'm cool with it. I'm just gonna carefully do this and not get any schmag in my tea. It's a little challenge today. I decided to do something maybe different. So as I'm getting this whole thing basically undone, it looks like a slinky. If some of you remember Slinky, so I guess in a way, like I have to sneak it up the way. I kind of look like a plumber, That's what everybody says. I'm not a plumber. But anyways, I think I should be good, and I'm hoping there's okay. So there's no schmag in my tea, so we're gonna begin this whole endeavor. Unfortunately, it's gonna be the best I can do to get it up there. I do have other things that can also be used in the interest of model building. It's something I always took very kind heart. So yeah, of course, yours truly. I have, I'm drinking a little bit of tea, so what the hey, right? So I know it's gonna sound weird, so I'm gonna not have you guys onto the sound of the blower back here, connected to my paint booth, but I'm gonna start spraying the remaining part of the rims. Hopefully, I can get them done. Hopefully, there's no other problems. But so I'm gonna put the microphone on mute so you guys don't hear the act, because this thing's gonna be loud, and I'm bad enough I'm here. I gotta talk over the heater over here, so I don't want double whammy. So you guys are gonna have to hang tight for a little bit, and just give me a few moments, and I will explain everything shortly after. You know what? I decided to change my mind. It's not as loud as I thought it was. Because last time I did these on stream, it was a little different. And yes, I had to find the plug because, well, apparently the plug got disconnected and I had to find the extension cord. So, just give me a moment here and watch me get high. Sorta. And by the way, use one of these if you have a rotator on your table or spray booth. Ooh, that's maxy. Snakes. Okay, so that should take care of the yeah. It's gonna be a little bit high in here for a moment. But so anyways, so I know some people are wondering my last video, my last stream. So basically what's happened, I guess this channel in particular I'm doing, how come I don't have very many subscribers or anything like that? And well, the truth of the matter is, this channel in general has become a different channel, and a lot of my previous videos I used to game on here, and I guess taking a leave of absence from YouTube for a while, and then I decided to do these little live streams. The truth of the matter is that when you start, I guess what I'm saying is, as you get older, I know some of the streams I've done were older and different, and my points of view may have been not good at times, but in the truth of the matter, my channel has basically, it's starting to evolve more into a modeling channel to build models and to show people what there is to do as my craft and my trait, or one of my crafts and traits. So I've been basically in that dilemma for, I think, a long time, and I had to take a break from the streaming on YouTube. I really didn't want to go into a sense of direction. Hopefully that, basically what I'm saying, hopefully, we'll let that dry for a little bit. But basically what I'm saying is that hopefully I can do stuff a little different. I know a lot. I've lost subscribers, and some like my content, others don't. Some didn't like my point of views, and some did. And and the truth of the matter is, regardless of how my channel has changed in a way and how it affects not just me, but for the viewers who have subscribed to me in the past. So basically, the channel itself is becoming more of a model channel, more of a creativity. I usually try to bring a positive vibe, positive feel. And I know I might be a little bit on point on some things I should not speak the truth about. But it's just basically it's how the channel is going. And I want to say thank you to those who have been subscribing and liking my videos. And I hope you guys are happy with the content I am coming out and doing what I can here. So you gotta work with you gotta deal with you have to be patient with me for going through all this, this whole change into my streaming and everything else. So we're gonna get back to working on this girl here, the diamond reel. So I'm about to do the second coat on these steering parts. Just letting you know. This way, I'm trying to get everything all done 2 coats. But now, some of you are probably thinking, what am I doing with this truck? Okay. My thing is, what I'm doing with this truck, it's going to be a show truck. It's actually going to be a show truck for an upcoming mile contest. Because I've been toying with the idea of entering in a mile contest. Hopefully I can get myself a little bit more involved like I used to. It's kind of a hit or miss idea, but eventually I'll be going back in. There's a lot right now I'm basically dealing with today. I actually had to take care of a personal issue at the bank. And I need to get myself in gear with everything I'm doing now. Building my actual show truck for the upcoming mile contest. I've been thinking about it, and I think it's time. I've been a bit. I've actually been a bit laxing, so to say, or so to speak, about the mile contest, and I've had friends of mine ask me about it. So, I haven't done it in age. I haven't done mile contests for building mile kits in a very long time. But hopefully I can do this again and probably get my name back out there again. But I do want to thank, like I said, all of my subscribers. I want to thank the viewers who are also watching, and hope that y'all can join up and support the channel in future travels, is what I want to say. Anyways, going back to what I'm doing, yes, I am doing the second coat on the steering linkages, trying to get everything basically covered before I have to start mounting anything else onto this kit. I know some of you are probably wondering, what the hell am I doing? How come I can't just slap one coat of paint on there and do it? I know there's a lot of people that want me to think it that way, build a model kit up and, just do maybe one coat of paint, but the thing is, the truth of the matter is, if I'm to enter into another model contest again, I want to make sure I have all my bases covered, like I'm just that kind of person who is meticulous at what they do. A little bit too meticulous. I mean, in a way, it's a good thing to be meticulous, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean, there's being meticulous, there's being over meticulous. And I know there's model builders out there who, there's some that are good, okay? And I give them a lot of credit. And I've had, and over the course of time, being even a model judge for some of the model car contests or model trucks or military kits, it would become relatively apparent when you are a judge in that aspect or even in that category. You got to make decisions that either A, are going to be good, or B, they're just going to suck. And hopefully this year, with me going back and doing this, I'm hoping, keeping my fingers crossed that I get myself back into them, and hopefully I can have a better time than I did when I was back in 1998, because the competition was just basically stiff, and it was just hard to do. It really was. It was just one of those things that, there were too many politics involved with that. Sometimes even like when you're a judge in a model, like a model replica contest, you have to put up with you basically have to put up with the politics, and sometimes you may not like what you hear, or you may not like the answer later on when you find out. But with everything being all said and doing the best I can to get everything primarily situated prior to that, I just would basically just do it that way. Just do the best I can, get everything done, and hopefully get my foot back in the door again. It's not a thing. I know some people might think it differently, but there's others who would be opposed to what they think. So as you can tell right now, it's best I can do for the 2 coats of the steering linkages. As you can tell, the ones that are the flat base are the steering linkages, the whites and everything else. That's for later on into the kit. So there's just going to be a lot more going in depth to this kit. And me, in general, the reason why, there's a reason why I've done what I've done. The reason why I build truck kits. And, when I was a little girl, I basically had a love for trucks. There's some girls out there, some women out there who actually like to be behind of a wheel of big rig, or something that they can be like the king or queen, like king or queen of the road. But normally they always said the truckers were the king of the road. Sometimes you got what they call the queen of the roads. So I just happen to like trucks. I also did cars and stuff like that, but big rigs were basically what I liked. There's some people out there who think that, trucking is mainly for guys, but the thing is, it's a case point that's been proven. And there are female truckers out there too. Some of you who are also big rig drivers know exactly what I'm talking about. Eventually, there will be a special treat in store. Unfortunately, the place I have this particular vehicle is in a different location. It's not here where I live, unfortunately. We've been having issues with that. So eventually you guys should, once later on to the streams, you guys are being for a real treat to what I am talking about. But right now I'm going to keep it under wraps, and I don't want to ruin the fun, and I don't want to ruin the surprise. Unfortunately, I would like to tell you what it is. But it's been I guess what I'm trying to say is it's been, I guess it's just a lot of things have been going on. And I'm finding out that a place I work for, unfortunately, I guess what has also been bothering me on top of it, it goes back to a stream I said earlier. And I find that when I build models, it gets my mind off it, but also it helps me explain something earlier into the due process. Usually when I have a bad day at work or something, and it's kind of weird, like even if I have a bad day at work or a rough week and I build my models, I express it through this way. And sometimes when you express model building, and you do as a hobby, it's therapeutic because I think if I had not done this and I had not been a model truck builder, I think I don't know. I can't even tell you exactly what would have really had happened, except for the fact that building what I build is basically what I like to enjoy, and it's therapeutic. Even like I said, this week it's been a rough week, and be honest here, I did put my retirement in the end of this year. Come by the end of December, I will be retired from my job. I will be doing a lot more YouTube videos. Hopefully, I will be hopefully, keep my fingers crossed, I'll have Patreon set up. But I also need to talk to John Paul. I'm going to need his help in setting up something he mentioned to me, which I'm going to look into. Like I said, I'm not tech savvy, so don't throw tomatoes at me or cucumber or whatever you want to throw at me here. But no, don't. I don't encourage that sort of thing. But if John Paul is watching, dude, hit me up at some point. Leave a DM me and help me get this thing set up because I'm still struggling with it. I got kind of confused the last time I did it and just didn't want to download the wrong thing. But yeah, just leave a comment section below and try to help me out here to see where or how I can set something up where I can have a Patreon or something to push things a little further, heighten my thing up a bit here. But anyways, I'm gonna go check on the back side of the rims. I gotta check see if they're dry. Then I'm gonna do the front side of the rims. So time to go take a look and see what I've done, and hopefully these dried up good enough where I can actually touch them. And yep, this is what I was talking about. Before I go any further, even though there's missing parts, not missing parts, but there's missing stuff. But the inside, nobody's really gonna look at them. The outside, you basically want to do more on the outside than the inside because the inside's not gonna be a whole lot. So I basically been stuck with many dilemma. So, okay, so that's just something that a friend of mine. I was looking at what a friend of mine did. So I guess I'll just do that. Let me just click back over here. Now I'm going to start doing the front side that actually is going to matter more. And speaking of which, we're going to use my special vinyl tires that are going to become hard as rocks. These are good for doing the rim painting. Just saying. But remember, if they get too stiff, do not use them as projectiles on anybody. They will hurt. So just keep that in mind, okay? So anyways, I'm going to begin the coat, the actual official coating. Of course, if I drop a rim or drop a tire, well. Anywho, I'm going to start doing the next part of the coating. I'm going to turn on the magical spray booth of happiness and watch me get high again. God, I love this paint. Oh, hell no. This looks like really awesome, but I'm kind of wondering Hopefully the chrome will set these out a little bit. You know? First I'm going to get my fingertip at the process, but it's all good. And I think I got it all, but I'm not even 100. Nope, I didn't. There we go. Okay, now I want my fingers dry. Ooh, that's gonna leave me a nice little high mark tomorrow. But anyways, so I want to say happy Friday to those who are watching. And hopefully everybody's doing good and, just kind of like relieved a little bit. I know some places still have we won't say it, but we know what it is, begins with a C, and I will not repeat it. It's something I don't want to repeat, something you don't want to repeat, something that nobody wants to repeat. So anyways, since that thing just sucked out the entire intensity of the schmeg. So anyways, I want to show you something really cool with these tires. Now, I'm sitting on the seesaw on this one. Now I'm going to open one of these up, or I'm going to open the bag up and show you what the tires look like. Don't get me wrong, I like them. However, I mean, these are really nice. I mean, they're not bad. Uniroyals or... Oh. Wow, this is nice. Look at the stamp-ons on the Uniroyals. You can even see them. So those are the stamp-ons right there. If you can see how accurate and detailed these are. These are not bad. No, seriously, these aren't Uniroyals. But the only thing it's missing, I think it would have been an awesome idea. See, knowing years of experience, I think they're missing one key little thing here. If you really want to do it, you can add some realism to it. I would probably do it, but given the circumstance, a show truck, it may not look good. If you were to build a normal 18-wheeler, you can actually take a color, like a little, take a little bit of a blue paint, maybe a toothpick, and put a little dot mark on it. I know that's basically, I think that's how if I remember correctly, I believe that's how they did it. The DOT standards, sometimes they were blue or they were yellow. But primarily, I've always seen them yellow more than I have seen blue. So I've actually been thinking about that. If I really want to add that realism, I could actually do two things here to top it off. However, being a show truck, I'm not going to do neither of them. Now, if I were to do a non-show truck, I would actually take the tires, a little sandpaper, and you sand them down. You sand the treads down to give them some wear. And then I'd add a little DOT marking right onto the tire. Unfortunately, because this is a show truck, and eventually it'll be going into model contests, I am not going to be touching them. So I bet some of you are wondering why I have the frame painted green. All right, so logic of thinking. Now, do you remember the one episode I said it would do a special thing about a Sinclair truck? Yeah, just think about that for a moment. There was a reason why I said that. Because, well, one, I didn't know where I was going with it. And two, well, that was it. But anyways, we're going to jump forward. So tonight, since we got the parts drying, so I'm going to go a little extra tonight. I'm actually going to start building the actual Cummins engine. Now, normally I don't do the engine until after everything at the frame is done. Unfortunately, frame's already done, but not the actual components and guts. So what I'm going to do is I'll start taking apart the Cummins engine, get these little engine halves, and I'm going to show you what's really cool about this. And it's when I look at the engine kits, normally I use this old little guy, but I'm going to use him until he cannot work no more. Yeah, I know. That's kind of like how I am, a slave driver. I'm horrible. I know. But, anyways, so I'm going to be doing this Cummins engine. But, look how detailed that is. Like, seriously. You cannot tell me that's not detailed. And I'm actually happy that, building this type of truck kit and doing what I need to do with it, hey, I'm happy for it. Can't find nothing wrong with it. So, seems like it's got a little couple of bumps, which go for the intake manifold that mounts up on top. Let's get that cleaned up a little bit. I'll clean up a little bit on the transmission housing. So, the normal routine, make sure you sand it so it flushes really nice and you don't have problems. And, of course, I'm getting my shirt all covered. So, normally I don't do this with the engine, but because this isn't the engine, I'm doing it onto parts that people won't see. So if you take off a little bit of sprue that's on the bottom of the engine and you nicked it, not really, if you enter it to a model shop, chances are I don't think nobody's really going to notice. Unless if you're making the Taj Mahal or something. I don't know. But anyways, I'm doing the same thing I did with the frame, sand down the transmission housing and all that. Where the gear housing will actually go to. And I'm going to make sure I sand a little bit on the bottom of the engine half, only because you got to make sure it's going to sit right. If not, it's going to look like a Picasso. And you all know what Picasso did, right? He made those really abstract artworks that kind of look like, you will not go into that little depth, the depth of the part there, but some of you get the gist of what I'm saying. So here's one part done. Of course, my stirring sticks are causing a little bit of a brouhaha, but just gonna get this part kind of sanded down, get a little bit done. Make sure that even like on this engine half, it's important. If you have a part of the engine that's not fully sitting well, make sure you do just a slight little tweak of a customization. Don't go nuts. Don't even try to over compromise the kit, because then it'll look like a nightmare. So anyways, what I'm doing is now setting up the engine half, making sure I get as much as I can get done so it sits in properly. Actually, so the parts can actually sit together, and therefore you don't have a problem later on with the parts. And there's a disclaimer somewhere in there, and don't get me started on that one. So, anywho, I'm just going to make sure everything's done. I'm going to make sure everything is good to go, and I'm going to get rid of the excess sprue that is kind of lingering there like a, under certain things. So let's see, the engine half looks like it's clean, but it's not. There's a little bit of extra sprue right over in this little area here. I need to get that down, only because this is important. I know some people might think it's anal retentive, but it's not. It's showing good craftsmanship. And every model builder knows as much as model building is a lost art, for some, to others it's not. You know, given the circumstance, I have no issues with it. And just always make sure you clean the top of the transmission housing over here on this kit, especially because if it's the hood's gonna open up, so you don't want to have it like, oh my god, it looks like something like a Bride of Frankenstein, or even Frankenstein or Dracula. Not to knock off the classics here, but that's just me. So now I get to pull the magical Wonder Stick. As you can tell, how much caked up glue over the course of time. Yep, that's just basically how that works. You know what? Since we're doing that, I might as well grab the oil pan too while we're at it. Just gonna snip it off with the war-torn veteran here and get it done. Get a little bit of a cleanup on there, not too much. You don't want to hack it. And that's kind of weird, even though that might... And I know some of you are probably thinking it's a Lizzie Borden joke, but it's not. So, so basically what I'm doing is I'm making sure I'm cleaning off the oil pan a little bit. And I want to make sure everything is hokey-dory before you start mounting everything in, because at that point, if you don't do everything right, then you have to go back and redo it again, and then therefore you're going to have a nightmare putting everything back together, which is not a good thing. That's kind of like one of those things only a half-ass engineer would actually do, but that's on a different scale level, kind of like Ford. So yeah, that's just basically how I feel about the whole thing. I mean, I gotta give GM some kind of credit, though. I mean, now I'll tell you why I'm saying that. Okay, back in the '60s, I had a cousin who was actually a tin snipper, worked for General Motors, and basically, it was a job, you know. And I have to respect General Motors in a way. I know some people might frown on General Motors. I mean, hell, there's some people who frowned upon AMX or, AMC. American Motors. Don't get me started about that one. So anyways, now I got the fun. Let's play a little game. Here's the engine block. Now, you would think there would be an arrow pointing down saying, you are here. Goal objective would be down here. You are now here. Congratulations. Get through that maze and win a cigar. But no, seriously, I don't encourage that sort of thing. I don't encourage smoking. I mean, if you guys gamble, you guys gamble. If not, hey, I give you power to you, I think I may have jinxed this one out. Hardcore. Note to oneself, don't ever use an X-Acto bleed inside the, rubber cement tubing or rubber cement bottle, because you don't know what's going to happen. Me, it's probably going to erupt like freaking Mount Vesuvius. Uh-oh. Alright, let's see if that works. Hopefully I did this right. Hopefully not. I might have to lodge a pin in there if I can get the... Oh, you little bastard. And yes, I know. I'm using the cheat sheet. The little mole eyes, if you want to put it. Oh, here we go. Oh, I think I may have unclogged the booger. I look funny like this. I look like Dr. Somebody. It'll come to me. It was science fiction doctor. Oh, too much. Okay, so we got X, Y, and Z kind of down. Now you can tell I look like Dr. No. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I don't cosplay very well with certain science fiction people, but so anyways, I know that there's a certain somebody who's watching my stream right now. So so anyways, here's a little thing about here saying about the Church of Met real quick, and whoever's watching it, and I know who it is, knows about the Church of Met. Anyways, so I'm gonna continue on gluing and not getting high off the glue, but continue on gluing, and I'm just gonna do the oil pan, keep quiet for a little bit, and see what happens later on when that certain person responds. I'm sure somebody's gonna be listening in on this one. So right. So I'm just gonna mount the little oil pan onto the engine block, onto the Cummins. And I believe that we're going to have to let it sit for a little bit. So there you go. It's all kind of together. But anyways, I'm getting a little snarky now, and I know the person who watches my channel. But I'm not going to say who it is. I'm just going to kind of keep my mouth shut. But anyways, I'm going to work on timing cover. As you can tell, is this. So anyways, yes. So there's always that little fun part where and going back to what I said in my other stream, I actually did say that I was making a special memorial truck in homage to my great-grandfather. So in a way, I'm kind of spoiling the surprise, but I'm kind of not. So it's just a little, it's just a smidge, it's a little tease, it's a little, something to be look forward to, and eventually, I'm going to be going into a certain point of my, I'm going to be going to a certain point of my stream where the rest of it is going to be a cliffhanger until the revealing of this particular truck. So basically, that's where it's all going to go. And my arm just popped. So yeah, I gotta get back here. As you can tell, there's a little sprue back here. If you can see, it looks like an iceberg. So, just gotta kind of get rid of that because it's not gonna sit right. It's gonna be like this. Here's the engine part. Here's this little part. Everybody knows it goes on this way. Hopefully I can get the whole engine together. May not get the whole engine together, but I'll be able to do some of it. So anyways, oh yes, I know what I forgot. So I'm just gonna start gluing up on the edging here. You want to make sure that whatever you do, now I know some of you are kind of wondering, what would you do? Would you glue your fingers together? Would you not glue your fingers together? And there's some people out there, and I remember somebody I know who actually built the model. Needless to say, glued their fingers together, and it didn't look very good. Their fingers were like this; they couldn't even move them for about a week. So as you can tell, now as this Cummins engine is coming together, basically I know there's a red splotch here, but in time that's going to get primed up and painted. So that red marking thing is because of the when I anodized the rims. I should have been a little bit more cognizant about it, but I'm still going to have to prime it and paint it. It's going to be, the color for this engine is going to be the brown, Vol Cummins engine. Everybody knows anybody who had a Cummins engine. They painted them basically brown. But this one's going to be brown. It's going to be like a tannish brown, which is the basis of that. And I actually want to get it all together. So by time I actually mounted in with the drive shaft, the main drive shaft painted, and everything else painted, it's just one less thing I have to worry about. I always had like this deadline. But with this kit, I'm taking my time with it because it's not a rush deadline. It's not a deadline I have to send out. So thank God. But if anybody at some point later on after this whole project's done, if you happen to want something custom made by from by a truck kit or car kit, you can always leave a comment section down below, or you can direct message me up on in the YouTube message box. And keep in mind, I'll be able to respond to the messages, but it'll be a bit of a delay. So if I don't respond right away, be patient. I will respond, and I'll get those in much as possibly can. Like I said, this is the first time I'm actually doing this this type of live stream full with a model truck kit, going from like ground zero to the final product. So, and later on in the video, in that said video, I gotta fix that little crack there, huh? I said crack. Yeah, I know what you guys are saying too. I see you smiling over there. But yes, there's a lot to go on. There's a lot to take in, So this is the first. This will be a channel that's going to be solely based on those. You're going to see this kit in general from ground zero all the way to the end being built up. Basically, this is going to be not just a how-to thing, but it's more like it's going to give you an idea of what this kit's going to look like from the beginning to the end. But keep in mind, this kit the series I'm running here, it's going to be kind of like almost like, I can't say it's not going to be like anything like The Sopranos. I mean, it's not kind of like that. It's not what I'm going for. So hold on right there. So basically what's happening is this particular kit is going to be built in the series of stages, numerous shows and stuff like that. But jumping at the task at hand is the transmissions. Now, what I'm going to do actually just clean these up just a little. I'm not going to go completely nuts, only because there's a reason. I mean, this is not a cab over kit, so this is more of a curb sniffer. So I'm just going to clean up the transmission just a little bit, so I can get this ready, glued in and together. However, it's not going to be glued in along with the thing, and I need something to keep this down so this thing doesn't go bonkers. And I don't have anything for it. I did have some tape here, but I don't know what I did with it. And yeah, this is going to be embarrassing because I don't know where the tape went up to. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Tape to the rescue. If I can get it off. So when in doubt, painter's tape works. I'm just going to painter's tape this little bad boy right together, and I'm just going to let it sit. And if it sticks, it sticks. If not, it not. I am not worried about it. Best result sometimes, painter's tape. Remember that painter's tape is your friend. Oh, you can get at Home Depot. If you ever have those problem where the parts just want to kind of fold out, you can always get painter's tape. Make sure it's fastened down good, and then there you go. In my case, the rubber cement I have is like a space age welder. and I go, well. But yeah, so now I'm starting to clean up the transmission a little bit. I gotta get some of the excess sprue off, and hopefully I can get everything else basically together. But somewhere in the next, somewhere in the streams, one of the streams, there will be a thing I'm going to be making custom exhausts. They're going to be replicated, kind of replicated, but it's not. They're not going to be like a full. They're not going to be exactly the same. They're going to be a bit aftermarket, but not too much. And most people think that maybe you just go with the stock. Like the actual kits and stuff. But it really depends. You gotta kind of. I'm doing this one more of a custom. Well, the exhaust is going to be custom, but everything else is going to be basically built primarily for that. But I still have more sprue I have to clean up, which actually kind of irritates me a little bit, though. Just a little bit much. So I'm just going to clean up the sprue, just kind of get everything basically together. Do the best I can here to clean it up, and then whatever I don't clean up will be handled later on before the painting process and everything else. So now I'm going to take a little bit of glue here, and I'm going to put in these little air holes where the little teeth will go into, as you can tell it. You can tell right there, and I think there's one in the bottom over there. But so anyways, I'm going to begin the glue process. In glue time, my friends, in glue time. As corny as that sounds, but it's in glue time. You know what? That sounds good. In glue time. Instead of in due time, you have in glue time. I know some of you people might. I know some people are thinking, oh my God, she's gotten corny. You know what? I might have to. Oh, here we go. Now. Oh yeah, we got a split personality here with this transmission. Doesn't know it has a split personality issue. Let me just go around the transmission. I'll do the best I can here to make everything work. Surprisingly, I don't have to use my my mad scientist goggles here. So basically, I'm going to just get this together. Hopefully, I can get the transmission in here without any repercussions, but I don't know. Yeah, see, I gotta get this stuff all taken care of. I gotta get the that should have sat without any hesitation, any repercussions. But ladies and gentlemen, it seems like we have a problem. So right now, for a reason, I'm gonna leave the transmission end split open for a little bit so the air can get in. I mean, regardless, you got a drive shaft hole that will still let air get in, but I'm gonna just let this whole engine dry up because if I go any further, the terms run away and don't touch it for another day. So basically right now I have this already together. Now, what I'm going to be doing is actually in some truck cases, some engine companies during the truck times, they actually used to build the whole engine up and then they would prime it and paint it. And basically that's how they did that with the auto car. And the auto cars, the companies, they had different engines for different companies. Some wanted an engine that didn't have no cojones. And then he had some that just wanted a buzzin' dozen, which was a Detroit engine. And then sometimes you may have had a Cummins here and there. So basically, this is how it's going to look right now until everything's all done. So we're going to leave this alone. I don't want to get myself into much trouble. And now, take a little bit of sip of my tea a little bit. And let's go check up on the rims and see how they did. Though I will not be mounting the tires on until probably the next stream, the next time I do this. Let's go take a look at the rims and hopefully I didn't get myself covered in any more paint. So, that looks nice. And I'll take that, and I'll take that, and yeah, okay, so that's not gonna really help very much, but it's the best I can do. So anyways, the rims came out good, except there's a little bit of a schmeg. So basically what you're seeing right now is the complete product. Unfortunately, that was not supposed to happen. A little bit of a excess thing there, but basically the way this is all going to be set will be on different Notion. So some of these look like they're pretty good. So yeah, I guess that's all I gotta do now is just let them just kind of do their thing. But then again, no, because they feel dry. They really do. They actually feel really dry. I may tuck the tires in. You know what? Hell. Yeah, they feel. Yeah. You know what? I think I can. I think they feel. They don't feel like they're tacky or anything. You know what? Let me try one. Just as an experiment. And if all else fails, then we know what happened. Something went wrong somewhere in the laboratory here. So normally when I do these, I usually flip one side to the other because this is a whole rim. And I got this. So usually for me, this is probably not going to be my brightest of moves, but in a way, I think this may work. Just as long as I can keep the tire. Yeah. Okay, I kind of thought so. So yeah, these rims still have to get done over again. Yeah, they're not fully done, so yeah, so I'm gonna have to let these sit overnight. It won't take me long to fix up really quick. What the hey, right? What you gotta lose? Actually, the final coat is actually when I have to spray it in, but so I'm gonna go run that final coat one more time and call it good, and I think that's gonna be it. And I gotta find all the tires that actually went with it. Man, it smells like watermelon over here too, when you actually use the paint. So I'm gonna get those rims out of there. I had another set. I think. Nope. Great. One of them is gonna be like a something. But anywho, we're gonna begin on the final prep. So it seems like the last rim is probably gonna be on its own, which I kind of don't like the idea of that being the on its own thing here, and it's gonna feel kind of embarrassing. So I'm gonna grab. You know what? I think I have another tire I can use. Oh, let me see what I got here in my boneyard. Let's see. Anybody want a cab? Here we go. I know I had a spare tire somewhere. And we're going to use that for this rim. Alrighty, so that means I gotta let these bad boys sit for another who knows how long. So, patience is a virtue. And first time for everything and trying out different things, different techniques. So if you ever do different techniques or you try out something different, don't be afraid. That's why they have trial and error. And basically, it's kind of like you learn as you go, you know? So that's just basically how that works. I better turn that fan on, huh? Alrighty. Code number 3, and we are done for tonight. But first, I gotta let that cool air out for a little bit, or else I'm gonna be not doing too good, sorta. But it was good to see exactly just as an experiment. Now, had I done all those rims, in perfect example, we're gonna let that sit for about a week. So this way the actual paint can actually sit and adhere. And then we're going to try again and see how that works. Hopefully at this time around, it'll work. And then next week, I'll be basically getting the steering linkage together, doing that up. Or actually, it'll be the next stream, I should say. So we'll have the wheels, the back wheels, and the steering linkages almost there. But as far as everything else is going, the truck itself, the engine block, this guy right here will be redone. Or more like it'll be fastened down the half here in the back of the transmission. So I'll get that done. And then start working on the other stuff as, go along. And then eventually everything with the truck, once everything with the truck comes together, it all makes sense. Some people are wondering, why am I doing it this way and why I'm not doing it that way? But there's a reason for my madness, and it's just the way it is, So, anyways, I want to say to everybody out there, thank you for watching. Please hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you missed any earlier segments of my last streams of how I did the truck, please look back at them, see where I started. If you have any questions or if you have any questions or anything you want to say, leave it in the comment section below. Keep them G-rated. We all know that. But yeah, if there's anything, the other thing I do want to say real quick is anything that anybody else wants to know. Like I said, any questions, any type of comment, just leave it down below. Leave the like button. Hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification so you can get informed of upcoming streams. And till then, this is Michelle362. I am going to say peace, love, and happiness. Much as I haven't said that in a very long time. But anyways, I'm going to call it good here for tonight. And feel free to check out the previous videos. Like I said, if you have a problem, if you're starting this kit, I recommend the very first video of that kit, of where I started to what I did there, and then you'll see it from that start to finish of the actual frame itself. But till then, I'm out, and bye for now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.